Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now today's first story comes from Throwaway Fat that says, my wife wants me to stop going to the gym because a coworker hit on me. My wife, 35 female, does not feel comfortable with me, 40 male, working out and going to the gym anymore and is suggesting I quit. I've always been slightly overweight in my 20s and 30s and really let go during the pandemic and gained a lot of weight. It started bothering me, and hence last January I joined the local gym and hired a personal trainer. I lost most of the excess weight and the trainer also helped me gain muscle. I love going to the gym now and working out 3 to 4 times a week. My wife of course loved my dedication, and I sometimes found her staring at me when I was changing, which was cute. Overall, my confidence improved and I also started dressing nicely and everything just fit right. I had a situation happen to me in the summer at my workplace. My wife's friend Barb also works in my company. One of the girls in my company, JC, late 20s female from a different department, started becoming very friendly with me. Started joining me for lunches and slacking me through the day about random topics. I would be busy and try to be polite and ignore her. However, things got weird when she got a hold of my phone number, which only my manager knows in the office, and started messaging me after hours. I immediately drew a line and told her it's not acceptable and only to talk to me via company messenger, as I do not talk to work colleagues on my personal phone. I also started ignoring her after that, except for a polite hello when she came face to face. My wife asked me to report her to HR, but I did not because she never messaged me about anything inappropriate. My wife checked with her friend Barb and she told my wife that JC and her friends were discussing my weight loss and how I have completely changed the way I dress. Again, I ignored it as I'm not sure this was raised enough to be reported to HR. The day before yesterday during our Christmas party, Jay approached me twice and asked me to join her on the dance floor. I declined and just went about my way. By the end of the night, she came to me, started dancing suggestively in front of me, and did something highly inappropriate. I was shocked and fell back, spilling my drink on myself. JC's manager swooped in and told me she had too much to drink, and I never saw JC again at the party. When I reached home, my wife had already heard about the incident from Barb. She was crying and was angry at me. She blamed me for not reporting JC to HR when she had told me to. She also said I was drunk, which I was not. I only had 3 drinks during a 3-hour party and stank like whiskey. After I calmed her down, she asked me to shower and rest. She apologized before sleeping, but told me she felt very violated by JC's actions, and I promised her I would meet with my manager and HR as soon as the office opens again, which is after New Year's. In the morning, I woke up and started getting ready to go to the gym. My wife asked me if I could not go to the gym. I said okay, and we both cooked a nice breakfast and had a fun family time with our toddler. Afterward, my wife asked me if I could hold off going to the gym for a while. She told me that she feels insecure when other women look at me, and yesterday was a deal breaker. We never had any similar issues in the 11 years of our marriage. She loved me just the way I was and did not care if I became muscular. She told me that the purpose of the gym was to lose weight, and I have already achieved it, so I can just maintain where I'm at and not work out further. Upon further probing, she told me that my losing weight had been a hot topic amongst her friends group, and she had a fallout with one of her friends because she made some sexual comments about me. All of this is making her very anxious. On one hand, I love working out. For the first time in my life, it makes me feel confident. On the other hand, I want my wife to be happy, and this is a very small price to pay in my books. I know she is being insecure and controlling, but I love her and the life we have built together, and all I want to do is see her being comfortable and happy. I'm holding off going to the gym till New Year's and enjoy the holidays with my family. However, am I the asshole here to want to continue after that? How do I convince my wife to not be insecure? I know there is no switch. And what have people in this situation done? P.S. I posted this last night, but deleted it as there was too much info. So as always, we have some relevant comments which OP responds to. Someone asked OP, so are you going to HR or not? Because the gym is irrelevant here. OP says yes. Also, HR person was literally standing 15 feet from where the incident happened, so I don't know if things will already be taken care of before I go back after New Year's. However, as you know, it's different with me being a man, as mostly everyone around just chuckled at how drunk she was. Someone says, is your wife overweight? OP says no. She's one of those high metabolism person who can eat anything and still stay in shape. I, on the other hand, can look at a donut and gain 1 pound. Someone says give your wife some time to work through some of these insecurities, but this doesn't mean you immediately quit. She also may change her mind about the gym stuff. Someone says give your wife some time to work through some of these insecurities, but this doesn't mean you immediately quit. She also may change her mind about the gym stuff. Opie says thanks, this is exactly how I feel. Everyone who is saying she's insecure and quit, I'm sure is either not married or should not get married. In marriage, I'm sure people deal with these situations and work together to find a solution. It does not matter who is insecure or who is a problem. For context, happily married for 11 years, my family is everything to me. I also understand where her insecurity is coming from, as another girl physically crossed a very important boundary with me 2 nights ago. I want to give her time to work out her emotions before even considering the next steps. Thanks for a very insightful comment. I think it's the shock of the event that led her to react that way. I would have also gotten angry if her coworker hit on her in the same way. I think I just need to wait for her to process everything and then talk about it. She is a very sweet and understanding person. Someone says, can you go to the gym with your wife? Also sounds like Barb is a busybody. Sounds like your wife needs new friends all around. Opie says, I'm sure she would love to go to the gym. The thing is, both of our careers are very demanding and she says she would rather spend their free time with our kid. I also have to wake up really early to go to the gym so that I can spend whatever free time I have in the evening with them. I also wish I was the first one to tell my wife after the incident and not Barb. I don't know if she embellished any facts while telling her what happened. I didn't know about her friend's comments and issues until yesterday when she told me. It is really weird, and my guy friends do not talk inappropriately about our wives. Not sure this is something that is common among female friends. Someone says, how long did you let JC stand there and dance suggestively? I think should be between 15 to 30 seconds. I know this JC was there and super drunk and everyone was staring at us. I immediately turned my back towards my teammates to try and ignore her. I am really sorry. You get hit on as I can tell you it was one of the most embarrassing things I had to experience, especially in front of everyone I work with, and I had to be polite as to not cause a scene. But RGW Fun says not the arsehole, your wife needs to deal with her insecurities in a way that does not control your body autonomy. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not having an affair, and you can't control how others see you. Since you struggled with weight for a long time, I'm guessing you have maybe a little less self-esteem than the average guy. Tell your wife you love her and honor her feelings, but this isn't right. Working out is good for you long term and not just for weight loss. And there are better ways for her to manage her anxieties. Do not, under any circumstances, allow these feelings to turn you into limitations on taking good care of yourself. Besides, we both know how it is. Once you're committed to someone, it doesn't really matter if other women make eyes. Beardsley Big Brain says, not the arsehole, it's not your fault that you're being objectified because of your body. That's on others, not you. You have done nothing wrong. They didn't cheat, and for some reason, you think you can be an arsehole. Nope. I wonder how this post would go if the genders were reversed and the woman was working out to look and feel great, and her husband said, stop working out because other guys might hit on you. Another commenter says, my ex did this to me. Convinced me that working out was causing her insecurities. I was dumb and stopped working out. A year and a half later, I gained 80 pounds and was depressed all the time. She would take shots at my appearance daily. Ended up leaving her because I was miserable. Don't be like me. Stay in the gym. Necessary examples as not the arsehole, but men need to realize when inappropriate behavior is happening. It doesn't need to cross the line of sexual or abuse words to be reported. Her behavior was reportable before that Christmas party. How did she get your number? That alone should have been told to HR. Her constant Slack messages could have been seen as harassment if not about work. Either way, it sounds like her incessant attempts to talk to you were making you somewhat uncomfortable. That's enough to report. You're at work, you aren't her friend, she's in a different department, is making you and your wife uncomfortable. Protect yourself and your peace and your family's peace. Talk to your wife to let her know that you are sorry for not seeing the situation clearly before. You've never been in the situation before, or whatever was making you doubt reporting her when you should have. Talk everything out and let her know the gym is to stay healthy. At your age, working out regularly will set you up for more long-term health. Maybe ask her to start coming with you. There is a compromise, but you won't get there without conversation. So OP comes in with that update and says, I created a post yesterday about my wife, 35 female, not feeling comfortable with me, 40 male, working out and going to the gym anymore, and suggesting I quit. First of all, I did not think a million people will read my post and provide me with their perspectives, and then shares the link to the post. To be honest, after reading the comments during the few hours or so, I realized I was the arsehole for posting about my wife's reaction in such a sensitive situation. I just wanted to get perspectives from people in comparable situations. However, I just had the internet judge her when she was at her most vulnerable. I tried to defend her in the comments section, but things got out of hand quickly, and I decided to just stop reading the comments for a while and plan my day. I wanted to thank a lot of people who pointed out that her insecurity may be stemming from me not showing her that she is the most important person to me. I cooked her a nice dinner and I asked her after dinner if I'd been ignoring her due to the gym, or if I'd given her any reason to mistrust me. According to her, I have been fine, but she's been having issues for many months now. She said she was proud of what I had achieved, and initially she used to feel good when everyone complimented me. However, she did start getting insecure when I started receiving more female attention. She also felt I was enjoying it and didn't put enough boundaries. Her examples were a lot of my female friends were complimenting my body and getting handsy, like pressing my arms and hugging excessively, and I didn't stop that. She also said that she caught some of her friends talking to me in a very flirty way, but I just kept on being polite and continued talking as normal. Also, she didn't like her friends talking about me or asking her constantly if I was going to come to get-togethers. When one of her friends expressed some pretty disgusting thoughts to another friend in private, and she came to know, there was a big fight in their group. Some of her friends also cut contact with that friend. Overall, she's been struggling with these thoughts for the last 6 months and talks to a therapist about this. She also mentioned that food was an important part of our relationship. She's an amazing cook and loves to bake, although she still bakes for my kid. She said that I only eat in very small portions when she cooks nice meals for me. It feels as she is only cooking for herself and stopped making nice meals. She used to enjoy the fact that I liked her cooking. She also misses the food I used to cook for her. So we set some ground rules. A. I won't talk about how I'm getting my 180 grams of protein every day. For those who know, no. B. When she cooks something nice, I will eat it and I will enjoy it. C. She can ask me to cook her favorite meals and I must oblige. And of course, she never intended for me to stop going to the gym and was just upset with the whole situation, so that is resolved. As for JC, the situation is still ongoing. My manager talked to me the day after the incident and told me that she wouldn't take it lightly and had already contacted HR. HR reached out to me yesterday afternoon. To paraphrase their email, it talked about how they want to create a safe workplace, blah blah. JC gave an apology letter to her manager and her manager forwarded it to HR. She said that she was offered too many shots and got blackout drunk and does not remember the end of the evening. She thanked her manager for taking her to the hotel room safely. She also offered to never drink alcohol at corporate events or during office happy hours. HR set up a meeting with me and my manager after we get back from the break, as they want to make sure I'm okay. I wanted to get an opinion from anyone who works in HR here. I'm going to tell my side of the story, including the past messages, etc. However, what is the process that HR follows here? What is really the point of this and what outcome should I expect? PS, thanks to the people who messaged me about mental health stuff and PPD. I'm sorry I ignored all of your chats, but appreciate it. A couple of comments which OP replies to again. So someone says, so what are you going to do about her friends touching you or flirting with you? OP says, I honestly did not notice flirting, but I did think it's normal for people to compliment you when you lose weight. I would do the same to my friends. I did notice that my friends, guys and girls, do touch your arm or poke at the abs sometimes. I am of course going to be mindful of it next time, as I now know my wife feels uncomfortable about it. Someone says an HR director chimes in and says OP needs to document other instances of her behavior. OP says, hi, thanks for your reply. My wife, whose legal advice I would trust, believes JC is already lawyered up. Her apology letter was written by a competent lawyer and is sure we'll have zero recourse in this situation. I will tell them my side, but to be honest, we'll be just happy if she gets a warning and never have to deal with her again. And I gotta say, in that update, when we got to the ground rules, he said, B, when she cooks something nice, I will eat it and I will enjoy it. I don't know if it was just the wording on this one, but it felt a bit sinister to me. I'm not sure why. You know, you will enjoy the food. And if I'm being completely honest about it, the update did make me feel uneasy. Bub seemed like an absolute shit stirrer. HR seems useless in this situation. I kind of felt, and maybe this is a bit strong, that you know, the situation between them was a bit swept under the rug. I totally understand insecurity. I understand, you know, potentially not wanting to ruin your relationship over something, but it did feel to me like a lot of fingers were being pointed towards OP, yet OP's just going to the gym and being healthy and looking after themselves. But now, what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story from the Am I the Arsehole subreddit. Doesn't have an update yet, a little Christmas-related drama is all going to start coming forward now from Fickle Risk 4930 and says, am I the arsehole for leaving Christmas dinner early because my sister-in-law wanted to name her daughter the same as mine, but spelt different? I'm a 30 female and my husband is 32 male. We have one daughter, Madeline, 8 female, and I have a sister-in-law, Jasmine, 32 female, and she has been having infertility issues for a while now and has had a couple of miscarriages. Jasmine and I aren't that close, but we're friendly to each other. She got pregnant a few months ago and she had a gender reveal party about 2 weeks ago. Everyone was so excited and happy when she found out she was having a girl. During this year's family Christmas dinner, she announced that she was going to name her kid Madeline, but spelled different of course, as if that made it any better. Her daughter's name was going to be Madeline with an I instead of an E in it. I was completely shocked. Never in my wildest dreams did I expect that Jasmine would want to name her kid Madeline as well. If she told me before we named our daughter, I probably would have taken that into consideration before naming her. I asked Jasmine why she would want that name for her daughter the same name as mine, and she said that technically it wasn't the same name since it's going to be spelled different. She also said that her great aunt's name was also Madeline, and that she thought that Madeline was a cute name. Jasmine also mentioned that Madeline was supposed to be the name of her kid before she had a miscarriage. This was before Madeline was born. I never even knew that's what she wanted to name her kid because she never told anyone. I was really upset and told her she could have just told me before I named my daughter that she also wanted to name her daughter Madeline. She said that I was always such a witch and that I probably would have named my daughter Madeline either way. I don't even know what I ever did to this woman. I then asked what we were going to do about the confusion of them having the same name, and she told me we could use my daughter's middle name. Like what? I told her if anything, we should be calling her daughter by her middle name, since my daughter came first. We went back and forth a few more times before I decided to leave early with my husband and Madeline. My daughter was also pretty confused and asked her why her aunt would want to name her daughter the same name as her. I'm still really upset and hope she changes her mind. This morning my brother-in-law texted me and said I should try to better understand Jasmine and her feelings. I texted him back and told him that she should stop being such a witch and try to understand my feelings instead. I really don't think I'm an arsehole, but am I the arsehole? Now, we've covered some of these same name stories in the past, and they usually stem from like two people are pregnant and then they steal the names off one another, etc. during the pregnancy. I feel like what if sister-in-law was saying was true, that she was going to name Madeline before? I think if I put myself in that situation, I wouldn't see a big problem with it, especially with the reasoning going on. I think where it got really shady is when she said, you could just use your daughter's middle name. It's like, what? And the fact that both of you were squabbling about this over a family Christmas dinner as well, it's just like, it just seems like a complete mess. I feel like this is one of those stories that could go all sorts of different directions. So let's see what some of the comments say. Where says, not the arsehole because of her comments towards you and suggesting your daughter use her middle name. But as far as confusion, you pick different nicknames or you call them both by their first and middle names when they're together. We have multiple instances of some names in my family, and it's really not hard to differentiate. Like I have two cousins called Anne. We just call them Anne Louise and Anne Marie. A little bit unrelated, but there was a story a couple of months back, maybe I don't know how long ago actually, it might have been a year back. There's so many of these stories where I think it was every male in the family was given the same name, Junior or something. And there was like 8 to 10 of them, and it was a small town. It was like, it wasn't the exact name, but it was like Little Bob Jr. And it caused all sorts of confusion with like paperwork and stuff like that, going to the bank and having to open accounts. And, there's like 10 little Bob Juniors on file. Again, I know it's not the same in this situation, but it just popped into my head, so I have to talk. You know what I'm like. Commenter quotes a section out and says, you don't own a name. She can name her daughter whatever she wants. No one has to tell you what they were going to name their deceased child. As someone who has a shit ton of people in our family with the same names, it's not that confusing. You have no right to be upset. You're the one being a witch and are hella overreacting. You're the huge arsehole. Southern Screen says everyone sucks here / no one's an arsehole here. It's a little weird of her, but it's definitely no reason for you to get worked up enough to leave early. The kids will be quite a few years apart in age, and I doubt there's ever going to be much confusion. As for how I'm split on the two rulings, she shouldn't have called you a witch and you were a brat too. Two Idle Hands says, Madeline and Madeline aren't even pronounced the same, and the kids are so far apart in age they won't ever be playing together. This is less of an issue than people think. Sister-in-law is handling it poorly, but just move on with your life and have everyone call each kid by their given name. I didn't know there was 2 pronunciations of that. Learn something new. Or maybe not learn something new. Someone in the comments will probably say, nah, it's not the case. And one more comment from TMC who says, sometimes crazy does not need a response. Cement that in your brain. Everyone sucks here. Going head to head with this woman and certainly calling her names is not useful. I 100% agree that she is breaking the close family naming rules, but it sounds like there are way bigger issues here. It would behoove you to learn that some coping techniques to deal with this person. Learn from experts, not those of us on Reddit. Top advice. Anyway, what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, support, and time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. I'm going to go and get a coffee and a mince pie. Much love.